Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a good week. As promised, I wanted to talk about the movie Smile, but I also want to address a couple things. One was I've gotten a lot of crap about my feelings on Terrifier 2. If you love the movie, great. Again, I think it's one of those things that divides the horror community. I have no qualms about the fact that it's well made as far as the excuse me, the FX goes. But I just felt it was from one gore to another. Okay, rather than have a real story. One guy chose to not only attack me, but to in essence spew out how wrong I was, and that it had a great story, and even what I found amazing was when I said, well, so the little girl was a ghost, but she wasn't a ghost, but then she was a ghost, but then she wasn't a ghost. How does that make any sense? And he refused to answer the question. He just chose to continue to berate me on what an idiot I am, which to me, I felt that, okay, the guy just is he's trolling, right? He wants to piss me off. And it was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna continue with it. There's no reason that people can't have a divided feeling about something. This has gone on since way back. Early movies. Orson Welles, would make a movie and people would either love it or they would hate it. And it's the same way today. I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't feel it was as great as people are making it out to be, especially when there's other things out there that to me have a great story. As I had said the other day, Two Witches, I think is probably the best witch movie that I've seen in a very, very long time. I thought it had a great story, the psychological breakdown, the on and on and on. Okay, so that being said, and hopefully put it to bed, maybe Damien's got some plan that he's going to get to 3 and 4. He's talking about two more that will tie things together. I don't see how you could do it. How do you give birth to a head? Spoiler alert. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That being said, again, I didn't hate the movie, and I feel happy for them that they were able to make something out of nothing almost. But is it the greatest thing since Cream of Wheat? Absolutely not. And again, that's my opinion. Second thing has to do with the Saska sisters, Jen and Sylvia, who made a movie that is in sexually, I guess, divided people are kind of complaining. Even people who have been their followers have some have seen it and said, they were unhappy or they were whatever. Makes no difference. The bottom line is when it premiered at Film Fest in the UK, a lot of people loved it. I know that I'll find something in it I'll love because I love the way that they shoot film, and they tend to tell stories. So I know that they have something up their sleeve, and it's going to be fine. But it got censored and canceled from the African horror con that was going to happen there, pretty much at the last minute, like a week to go, and they canceled it, and said that they were censoring it and it wouldn't, was not good for them to show. I have a couple of feelings about censorship. I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous, especially I remember seeing Dawn of the Dead at the UA 70 in Seattle on the big screen opening night, which it hadn't been, it was NC-17 or whatever in those days, unrated, I guess it was. Loved every minute of it. I think it's a stellar film. Well shot, well told, great story, blah, 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 blah. A week later, they pulled it because censorship, right? Which it had to be cut down to an R, which it was at some point. There was that copy out there. and that was what was being shown. And to me, it was like, why? You know what you're getting into. You're getting into flesh-eating zombies. So I found that censorship to be totally ridiculous. I think somebody needs to step back, in particular in the woke, and I don't like that term, days that we're in today. But I find it hard to believe that their film, I think more than anything it has to do with the devil, and it sounded like that it was being canceled mostly because of what it had to say about religion and etc. Sexuality and religion, whatever, which is sad. I think that's a sad state of affairs, and I feel sorry for them. I think that these kind of films, there's a place for them, and there's no reason that they can't be shown. Films like Serbian film, yes, I see there was absolutely no reason for that film to be made. There's nothing, in my opinion, redeemable about that film. When you talk about rape, baby rape, and death, abuse and killing of women, I have a problem. Just like I do have a problem with animals being killed, real animals being killed. I don't see that there's any reason for that, and it should be censored. Whether it's forced to take that out or if it's forced to just not be made, and shown. But again, that's my opinion. I'm not a I'm not a see all and want to be God and say this is good and this is bad. That's not my place in life. However, my place in life is I don't want to see something like a Serbian film ever again. Never. I have that burned into my memory, and it's like, God, just a piece of crap that really bothered me and made me mad. Anyway, that my opinion, and there you go. And I hope that Jen and Sylv's movie gets a good release, and that we can all see it and decide for ourselves. Okay, and then on to Smile, which I watched, and I gotta say that I'm gonna differ with people who are thinking that this movie or that movie, like Barbarian and Terrifier 2, are the best movies this last year. Sorry, Smile is, in my opinion. And there's people who could go along and say, it doesn't have a linear type great story. As I did with Halloween 2, by Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I think the psychological end of it and the psychosis, the breakdown of somebody's mental capacities is one of the most frightening things that we have in the world. People suffer from all kinds of things like that every day. And how this leads up to all of that at the end, to me, is incredibly well done. Certainly you could make a case that, yeah, but it kind of stole from It Follows. And I would say, okay, I see what you're going with that. The difference is this is well done. It Follows, to me, was not well done. Who kicks electric heaters or blowers into a swimming pool thinking they're going to kill a ghost? I mean, just everything about it to me was just stupid. And not very well acted. This is very well acted. My only complaint as far as the acting goes is I'm really tired of Kal Penn, who this was the second movie in days that I've seen him in, that I thought he was good in House, as a bumbling, not, I guess, butt end of jokes for House to, use in a hospital. But his dry, bland, I mean, nobody would act like he did in this film or the one that I saw before. Again, my opinion. But the movie itself is probably one of the creepiest. I think I said, holy shit, or swore about 7 or 8 times just because I was totally stunned at where they went or what the shock was. I don't want to give too much away because it's just, but you'll never look at somebody smiling at you again the same way. I guarantee it. Um, all I can say is right now it's on Paramount Plus for you to view, or you can grab the VOD of on Vudu, and I'm sure several other Prime. I'm sure several of those type of streaming services, and it'll be out later on hard copies. But I can't say enough good. And the lead actress is just, I thought, amazing. I thought she did a wonderful job. Um, I can't say enough good things about it. It's one of those that you certainly will be looking over your shoulder and having creeps. Jump scares are something that, to me, James Wan was probably one of the best at doing jump scares here and there that, to me, weren't done with the purpose of just shock value. It actually added to the story. And this one is the same way. It's got some things that you just don't see coming that I'm sure you're just going to sit there and go, what the, you know? So I would say, in my opinion, it's a big 5 stars from me. And check that out, 5 out of 5. Check out Smile on Paramount Plus or your streaming service. And I'd be interested to know what you thought about it. I also would like to know what you thought about censorship, because it's a big topic, and certainly in today's age, we're seeing a lot of things, especially politically, that's getting censored as well. You're wrong. I'm so tired of hearing people go, "Well, there was no basis for this." Wait a minute, prove it. You can't, right? I mean, and I don't want to get into any politics, but because I don't care, politics to me, I don't. There's nobody running for anything that I think is the savior of our country at this point. But it kills me because there are several of the places that just they immediately go, of course, no basis for this, and this was totally false, and yet every day we hear more and more about, well, this happened or that happened. I heard about a voting booth voting in a precinct just weeks ago here during this latest election that the power went out or something, and they couldn't. It was being weird, and they didn't know how And to me, it's like, so you're going to tell me that we're not being invaded by China, Russia, whatever, and they can't change votes, or votes are. I have no faith in any of it. So anyway, there you go. And again, sorry for that type of political rant. I'm not a big supporter of anybody, and if anything, I'm crying literally for our country at this point in many ways. And there's nothing I see in the future coming up that's going to change that at all. But let's hope that some of the things that are going on will stop, and we won't see student athletes shot to death and et cetera again and again. Anyway, I'm done. So that's enough rant for the day. Anyway, you guys all take care. Enjoy the rest of the week and the weekend. And, let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.